everybody, and how are you doing today? Hope everybody is having a really super awesome, fantabulous day today, regardless of whether there be morning, noon, or night. I hope your day has been really super awesome today. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Gabe, and welcome. We really do appreciate you clicking, and you're here with our little family, joining us with this little self-discovery of two reformulations. One is the Dior Skin Glow Foundation, and then the other is the Capture Totale Serum Foundation. Both of these foundations have just currently been reformulated. So if you use one of these foundations currently, or if you're interested in one of these foundations, then let's stick around and let's find out how it works together. I have a clean face on. I don't have anything on my skin. I just put my Dior Prestige cream on. I did a little bit of my LeBlanc Creator Healthy Light Creator Oil by Chanel. And I did a little bit, and I set it with a little bit of my Dream Skin Perfecting, which is amazing. This product is so great. I've got Glam Girl Chelsea hooked on it. It's so good. It's a great product. So anyway, I have those on. I have nothing else on my skin. So we are ready to rock as far as skin goes. Just to give you guys a few tidbits really quickly before we get started, we're going to be doing one side with the I'm going to be doing this side with the Chapter Totale and this side with the Skin Glow. I've been trying this foundation on for the last 2 days. I've been using it side by side on each other, comparing them. One day I did it lighter, one day I did it more fuller coverage. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive in on my glass plate. This one is the Capture Totale, and this one is the actual Skin Glow. They are both in the shade 3N. So I decided normally I'm a 4N, and that is usually my favorite shades, because normally I wear a 4N in the Dior Forever Natural Nude, and then I also use 4N in my Air Flash that I have. The Dior Air Flash is one of my holy grails. That is also the shade that I use in. But you can see that the Capture is a little bit runnier. The Skin Glow has got a little bit more of a thickness to it, especially the newer formulation. The latter one was had a little more of a run to it, like this one, but the newer one is not as much like that, which we're getting ready to go into, because I'm going to explain that as I'm putting the foundation on. I just wanted you guys to know what I have on my plate. Also, just to keep this in mind, they are giving away these types of samples at the counters at Dillard's, Nordstrom's, Neiman's, Saks, Bloomingdale's, wherever there is a Dior counter, that the beauty counter, they actually have these sampling. It has the shades in the inside of it, and there is a 42 shade range in this new foundation, and you get, there's a couple shades. Also, they can make you a match in this or the matte. So there's the matte as a reformulated, as well as the new Skin Glow. So you can check out both of those and get a sample if you want. So you don't have to actually, buy it if you don't want to, if you just want to try it, or if you're just curious and you want to see what it's about. So these foundations are just totally different. One is just more of a super treatment foundation, and the other one is a skin caring kind of foundation, which we're going to talk about a little bit as I kind of put the makeup on, or I'm going to try my best to do it as we do the makeup. I prefer both of these with a sponge. I've used it with my brush, my BK brush, and I like it. I just prefer it with a sponge instead. So I have a slightly damp sponge is what I'm going to be using. So one side of the sponge, it is clean, by the way. It's just got some stain from a blush that was on it. But it's definitely this. I'm going to use one side for the Skin Glow, and I'm going to use the other side for the Capture Totale. Again, I've shade both 3N. So let's just kind of get into it. So this foundation offers a complexion 24 hours of radiance and high perfection, with no cakey effect. Instantly, the complexion is smooth and illuminated, and the foundation is concentrated in floral skincare, visibly improves the quality of skin day after day. Women saw an increase of plumpness in 1 week, and then within 1 month, the skin was more beautiful and more radiant. It does have a little bit of a smell. It's not overpowering though, so don't feel that you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's so overpowering that you can't stand it. But it is a Dior foundation, and it does have a, Dior does, and Chanel, they all have a little bit more of a floral because they use a lot of flowers. They're a French brand. This foundation is the color is a little bit lighter, than what I'm used to 42 because of the 4N, but since I had a sample of, I had 4N in the packet, but the capture, I got a sample in 3N, and I wanted to make sure the shades were similar. I didn't want to get one too darker than the other, but this foundation goes on really smoothly. It is a really pretty, it kind of gives like a really, it starts off like a really pretty glow, and then it sets down a little bit. The newer formulation is not as glowy as the original. It kind of, it gets a little bit more matte, kind of, not matte, but like but it's more of a natural finish after it builds up after a while, or settles down after a little while. But it is really, it's a very nice foundation. It's really pretty. It comes in 42 shades. It also is, it's $52, and you get a 1 ounce in it. You know, but it is a really, it's very smooth. You can see the glow. Now, of course, you know, I have glow anyway because of my way my skin looks anyway. So unless I powder it really heavy, it's going to be, it's going to have that radiance to it. It does dry down, and it does have a little bit of a cooling effect when you put it on. But as it dries down, it does get a little bit more, like, you don't feel it on the skin. It kind of just, it feels just soft to the touch. It really smooths the skin out. It does make the skin look smooth. And I mean, it is really pretty nice so far. Formulated to help with heat and humidity. The new generation foundation is very clean, so they've taken out all of the nasty ingredients, or that's what they call it, a nasty foundation nasties. They've taken out a lot of those, so I will put these up here as we're talking about it. You guys, I'll put the ingredient listing up here so you can see the ingredients. Extract of iris, wild pansy, and hibiscus and nostrum. I can never say that. Nostrum, it's a floral, but I never can say it correctly. But it reveals more beautiful skin day after day. It has an SPF 15. It helps with UVA, UVB, and then it's tested on sensitive skin, and it's not comedogenic, and it is a 24-hour wear. Let me grab my mirror, and I'll look and see. So yeah, it just goes into the skin really pretty. It looks a little bit smoother. Looks a little bit smoother. A little bit more radiant. It makes your pores look a little bit smaller. But you know, all in all, I didn't do too much. I'm going to go back in with another, just a little bit more. This is one coat, just to let you guys see as it's kind of drying down a little bit, but it's nice. I mean, it seems to be really nice. I mean, so far I've not yet had too much of a problem with it. So far with my experience with it, guys, I mean, it stayed on pretty well. Just a heads up, it stayed on pretty well. I'm going to add a little bit more over top of this. It stayed on pretty well, even with a mask. The first day that I used it, it did not stay on that great. Because I didn't put but a little bit on. I barely put any on. So by the time of the end of the day, I really didn't have much left, or there wasn't anything left really. So you couldn't really see anything. So it didn't look like I came home and my skin still looked flawless. It does stay well on underneath the mask. And you know, by the end of the day, it still looked pretty good even after taking the mask off. So, it does feel a little tight. So after a while, it starts to feel like a little tight, like it's still got a glow on the skin, but the skin underneath feels a little tighter. And I don't know if that was something that they wanted to have like a little bit more of a tightening effect to it or not, but it does do that. So it does have a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a more of a skin tightening effect to me. But it still looks really pretty, but it just feels a little bit tighter than normal. I know some people have experienced some dryness with it, but again, you know, I put on so much, and I'm really dry anyway when I put on a mask. It really dehydrates my skin putting on a mask, and I wear it for 10 or 12 hours. So when I get home, my skin feels really tight anyway. That's just from just me, because the mask takes any moisture that I put on my skin away. So I haven't really wore it all day without the mask, so I don't know how to tell you how that would feel. But it does feel really good. You know, it's like, because again, I put oil and stuff up underneath it, which is the best way for me, because I tried it the first day with a different primer, a little bit more of a blurring primer, and it didn't look that great. It did look a little dry. So I will say with this Skin Glow, definitely primer is everything. So if you use something that's more blurring and more pore reducing, it's going to make it look more matte. If you use something ultra juicy and something ultra hydrating like my Elisa Eldridge or something like that, it will definitely make a huge difference in the way it's going to look up underneath. So I would definitely really think about your moisturizer, oil, you know, whatever it may be. Think about that up underneath it, because that's the result you're going to get from underneath it. So whatever you put underneath it, that's what the results you're going to get on top of it. That's just my 2 cents, and kind of working it with customers. That's just kind of like what it's kind of been, because it can look either really pretty or sometimes it can look kind of wonky, and that's the same thing with the matte. Same thing. So with that said, let's move on to the capture side. Use this side of the sponge. We're going to go on my other side of my glass, and again, it's the shade 3N. Now this one is a little bit lighter because it's 3N, but it's lighter, so it looks a little lighter. So eventually it will blend in my skin, but it just takes it a hot minute. But I probably could go with 4N. It probably would be a little bit better shade match for me. But it's not bad. It's not a bad shade match. This foundation, it has a little bit of a smell. Again, it's not a lot. I mean, so it doesn't have too much. I feel like I smell more of the sunscreen than anything. It has an SPF 20 in it. So it does have a little bit of a higher SPF in it than the other one does. But it is super, super beautiful. It is, you can see, look, it's just so pretty just by putting that on. I mean, I can already feel the skincare in it. I can already feel the lifting going on, the plumping going on. I mean, I can already tell you, it's like this foundation. I'm telling you guys too, this foundation on customers, man, it makes a huge difference. I mean, we put a little moisturizer on them and put this foundation on them and their skin. And I will tell you, like, out of everything that they will purchase, they purchase the foundation. They don't bat an eye with the $82. They're like, wow, it is just fantastic. Now, the shade range is only 13 shades. So it is a little bit, the shade range is not as much as the Skin Glow and the Forever Matte. So if you need any skin, colors in between, it's definitely it's gonna be, they're not as good. So I mean, if they're just, everything is like more of the like this one, the nude is the same way. This on the Dior website is the only place you can get this one, by the way. And they only have, I think, like maybe 17 or 16 shades, maybe even something a little bit less. But it is very, very, very refreshing and cooling and similar to this one. It just doesn't have a sunscreen in it, but it is a really beautiful foundation, but the shades are just a little wonky like this one. There's not as many, but they do have there's some darker shades in it. So it's not like there's too many light or not enough dark. There's a nice blend. So you can, I think you can find one in your shade range. Normally we do, like usually, because I've worked on quite a few dark skin customers and we've been able to find them a shade. So it's not been impossible, but it just makes the skin just look so pretty. You can see it looking at my skin. Look how the difference. Look how much more. This one, it feels glowy and you can see it, but this one, and I mean, and look how much I still have on my plate. Look, the coverage is there. Like the coverage is, to me, you don't need to work as hard with this one as you do with this one. I mean, and now the shade is just a little, they're both 3N, but they're just a little bit different. But I mean, but it is, I mean, you can see how just more lifted and more, you know, smooth. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just something about this foundation. I can't tell you. And I know I'm getting ready to explain it to you a little bit, but it's something about it. I don't know. This is the science of mother cells and Dior skincare expertise. It acts to correct 4 facial parameters for a youthful complexion by targeting wrinkles, dark spots, and loss of firmness and radiance. The serum's foundation's melt-in luminous texture instantly leaves the skin smooth, radiant, and supple. The foundation stays in place all day, providing comfort and hydration for a long-lasting plumping effect. The enriched Dior's exceptional Lunganta flower is known for its revitalizing properties. It visibly improves facial firmness and appearance of wrinkles. So looking, your skin glows, and immediately it's supposed to look 3 years younger after using the foundation one time. So already, just the difference. This one is a little bit more, it's a little bit more natural. This one is more lifted to me. I mean, you guys tell me. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about this foundation. I don't know what it is, but it's just really, it's beautiful. It just looks so pretty. Chemicals and the ingredients that are in the other one, it has a simple, it's more simplified. It's a little bit more cleaner. It's supposed to be it pumped with, you know, of course, the hyaluronic acid. And, you know, then again, I will throw up the ingredient list up here because it's got a long list of ingredients in it, because this one's got a lot more in it because it's a little bit more of a treatment foundation. So there's just more in this product. So this one is just more treatment oriented, more lifting, firming, wrinkles, plumping, that kind of sort of thing. So if you've got more of the, you know, age spots, dark spots, lines, wrinkles, maturity, aging, this one would be better for you. If you want something just every day, something smoothing, just to look really pretty on the skin, the glow or the matte would be better for you depending on your skin type. If you are more normal to dry, normal to combo, this would be better. If you are more heavy combo and you are more on the oilier side, the Forever Matte would be good for you. Now, unless you are normal, you can also get by with a matte. If you are dry, the matte is matte. It is very matte, and it will really mattify the skin and keep it very matte all day long. So just be wary with the matte. You can definitely try it, of course. That's totally up to you. But, I mean, I'm just telling you from experience, it is definitely a matte. You know, this one, you have to build a little bit more. As you saw, I have to build, like, actually, to get this covered, I'm going to have to add probably a little bit more on the other side with this one. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of this one while we're talking. And I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to build it up a little bit more here on my cheek, just to give a little bit more coverage so we can kind of catch up with this one. This one is immediate, medium to full coverage, immediate, as soon as you put it on. Now, as far as wear goes, the wear on this one is a little better. Like, this one seems to last a little long because this one's a little bit more on the dewy. So I'm going to flip my sponge around so I get the right side. Dewy sponge, that dewy radiant kind of finish to it, or a little bit more of a radiance. So it will not last as long as this one. It does last. It will last a good, I'd say a good 6 to 7 hours. With the mask, it lasts pretty decently. Yesterday when I took it off, it still looked pretty good. Like, it didn't look as pretty as it did when I first did it. But the mask, you know, it's going to take off some of it because it's not a long wear foundation. This one's more of a longer wear foundation. So if you were looking for more long wear, this is going to be your better bet. If you're interested in these foundations, I definitely would go with more of the long wear. I definitely would not go with this one if that's what you're looking for. But if you are looking for more of that really supple, radiant, glowy, healthy, plumping, lifting, all that kind of good stuff, this is going to be your guy. This one is going to be just lighter weight. This one's going to be a little bit more medium to full coverage immediately. This one's going to be just, you have to build it a little bit to get there because it's a little bit more of a, it looked thicker, but really it's, I mean, I don't think it's that thick. I mean, I think I've some people that feel that it is. I felt like the other one was a little bit more runny, but I felt like the coverage and the other one built up a little bit better. This one, in the older formula, this one, you have to build it slowly but surely. You have to really build it to get there. But I mean, it's a pretty coverage. I mean, it gives a really nice coverage. I've really built it up. So if you guys want to see, so this is the capture side. Look how beautiful that looks. It looks so pretty. And then this is the skin glow side. Again, it looks pretty. It's just different. It's just not as, to me, it's not as smoothing as this one is. That's just my personal opinion. So let me pull out my Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy knows all. So this one, again, I don't see. This one, I feel like I still see some texture. I see, you know, a little bit of, like, you know, pores and stuff on this side. It does look a little tighter. Like, it looks more like, not drier, but it looks a little bit more matter. Even though it's got a glow, it looks a little bit more matter. This one doesn't. This one just looks like I just put the best moisturizer on and nothing. It reminds me a lot of the Sublimage by Chanel, which I love. My Sublimage Tente, I love it. It's so amazing. It's such a great foundation. It was one of my top ones last year. It's such a good foundation. Definitely. So now let me show you something. I do want to show you one thing though. So I'm going to go back into the Capture one. I'm going to go back into that. So we're going to tap back into this one. And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it over top of this one. Now, I have mixed them together before. And they look great together over it. But I want to show you guys something. So, look at this. Since we've already kind of seen it, I just want to show you this. So, this is what's so cool. Make sure I get a little bit more on my nose. I'm kind of adding that one in. Put that over a little bit here. Now, I want you to look at this. Look how much better that looks from what it looked like before. You know, now it looks matched to this one, of course, but it just look how it plumped up that. And even with the over top of it, now it looks smoother. It looks more smoother. The pores look smoother. Everything looks more smooth. I mean, even just putting it over it, the other one, immediately it just made a huge difference. I can't believe that this foundation is so slept on. Nobody talks about this Capture Totale foundation. I'm like, who does not know about this? Why do you not know about this Capture Totale Cell Energy Foundation? It is like amazing. It is so good. I don't understand why people are so slept on. It's like, it's such a good foundation. But all in all, guys, I mean, you know, just out of watching both of these, I mean, me personally, I still feel I love the Capture. That's just my personal opinion versus the other one. I just think it works better. I think it works better. I think it looks better. I think it's more beautiful. You know, and I just think if you set it and everything, it stays on just about the same amount of time as this one, or on me, it does with a mask. Now, if I don't set it, it will go off in about, you know, 7 or 8 hours. You know, again, it just, but when you take off your mask and it's like, if you set it really well, it still stays on pretty decent, or it does on me, because again, I overhydrate. I do a little bit more. I mean, it's not because I would just work for the brand, and, you know, I do love the brand. It is a beautiful brand. You know, but you guys know that I will keep it real with you. And again, me personally, I just feel about this one over this one, but, you know, but you can make your own choice. You know, remember, choices, samples, you know, making your own decisions. You know, I'm not here to influence you on anything. I will have links down below if you are interested and you want to pick you up one. You do not have to do that, but I mean, you can definitely go in the store and do that as well. You know, the links just help me, that's all. But I mean, again, it doesn't matter. It depends on what you need. And remember, don't be buying foundations if you don't need them, because there's no point going out and buying them. That's just not a good idea. Only buy them when you need them. Like, or if you're in the market for one and you're looking for one and you wanted to know about these, that's why I'm here, and to give you the information about it. So with that said, I'm going to head out of here, and we're going to go on to another one after this, because we got another, we got a little brand new mascara that just come out. So we're going to be doing that one. That mascara one will probably be out before this one. This one will be out probably after the mascara. So anyway, but be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself, and remember to love somebody today, and to tell somebody that you love them. And remember, a little bit of kindness goes an awful long way. You know, being kind to someone, just take just a second, you know, can be a how are you, good morning, anything like that. A little kindness really can make somebody's day. It can make a big difference in their life. It can make a big difference in your life. You know, because, you know, a little kindness, if you spread it, then somebody else will spread it, and so on and so on. So it just kind of keep that in mind, you know, with it being 2022, you know, that just helps out a lot. And, you know, with that said, guys, please take care of yourself. I love you guys so much. Thank you for checking and hanging out with me this long, and take care, and we will see you again in the next episode. Bye.